Hi everybody, today I'm going to speak to you about an article in Channel News Asia that speaks about the surge in gold prices. The experts and the analysts were basically discussing or making commentaries about the reasons behind this surge. I classify them, I summarize them mainly into four main areas. 1. The moderation in US dollar. 2. Possible cuts in interest rates. 3. The ongoing war in Israel and Ukraine. And 4. The possible recession. This article also spoke about gold being invested as a safe haven. Since this report come at a time that many of us, including myself, are in the midst of holidays, I thought that it would be interesting to do some research on some of the areas that this report has spoken about. I want to cover on two things. Number one, the Sing dollar versus USD. If you go to Google, you just do some research, you realize that Sing dollar versus USD, the Sing dollar has appreciated against that of USD over the last 20 years for around 28%. Many of us by now would have known that Sing dollar has actually appreciated hugely against the Malaysian ringgit. But if you really study closely, look at a few major currency. Sing dollars versus pounds, around 70%. Sing dollars over euros, Sing dollars has appreciated around 43%. Sing dollars versus yen, appreciated around 73%. Sing dollars against Aussie dollars, around 43%. The second point that I want to speak about is actually the interest rates. Those of you who have gone through the times of Lehman Brothers, or even the most recent COVID situation, you will notice that the fixed rates are usually higher than that of the floating rates. So in the time of Lehman Brothers, we have floating rates as low as 1%, below 1%, and the fixed rates was around 1.2, 1.3. And the most recent COVID times, we have seen interest rate at around 1%, but the fixed rate was at around 1.5%. Have a look at the interest rate today. You realize that the floating rate is hovering around 4%. Fixed rates were hovering between 2.9 to 3.1%. What does that tell you? So during the crisis times, fixed rates comes as a premium if we want to fix it with the bank. But now it looks like floating rates actually comes as a premium. What does that tell you? It means to say that there is more possibility that the rates will come down, and therefore the financial institutions wants to lock us in, at whatever rates that they have fixed right now, whether is it 2.9, 3% or 3.1%. In fact, the last few months, some of the banks were providing 1-year fix. But if you check with the bankers now, there is no longer any package that will offer you 1-year fix anymore. Coming back to this report, when there's moderation in the USD, people want to put their money in gold. When there's a possible cuts in interest rates, people will shift their money to gold because they will get lesser from the equities markets or from the bonds market. When there's ongoing uncertainty, like the Israel war, the Russian war, when there is an ongoing or there's a possible recession, people want to put their money in gold. With all this, that serves as a backdrop to us. What does that mean to the property market in Singapore? You can put in your comment section. Bye bye.